Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Nick.
And I'm Karen. We retired early and sold everything back in 2022 and have been slow traveling since. In today's video, we want to share with you our cost of living for a 1-month stay in Hanoi, Vietnam. Vietnam is known to be a very affordable country, so we'll break down our costs and let you know what that was.
The first item up on the list, of course, is going to be the accommodations. Now, we got a 1-month discount on our Airbnb that we stayed in, and we stayed in the old quarter of Hanoi. So it was at a great location, and I got to admit, it was a really luxurious Airbnb. You know, we had great amenities in it. It was really nice.
We did an Airbnb tour video, so feel free to check it out if you want all the details of the apartment, but we really enjoyed it.
We did, yeah. So the total cost for that Airbnb for the month was $1,011.
Now, we are going to put the US dollar prices on the screen, but just for those that like to see the conversion in the different countries during the time that we were there, we're also going to put the amount in Vietnamese dong. The next item on our list is transportation. Of course, we don't have a car, we don't have a scooter for Vietnam. So what we did here, mostly, of course, we walked everywhere. Luckily, we stayed in an area that was very easy to get to the different sites, but we did pay for transportation. So when we got to the airport, we paid for the public bus that goes from the airport to basically the old quarter. So that was 45,000 Vietnamese dong per person, which is under $2 for that. It ended up being about $3.50, I think, total for that bus. It was bus number 86 from the airport. But we did take an excursion to Halong Bay and we paid transportation for that. And that was pretty expensive at $40 per person.
Yeah. That's quite a long ride though. And you're
several hours.
Yeah, several hour ride. And you basically need to take some sort of transportation, and you know, it was provided or offered through the cruise company that we use. So it was quite expensive, but it was a long distance as well, and it was well worth it. The van was very luxurious. It actually had Wi-Fi. It was really nice to be able to use that transportation.
Yeah. But now when we were leaving Vietnam and going to the airport, we decided to get a Grab. On travel days, we get a little nervous. We want to make sure we're there and early and the time that we need to be there. So we took a Grab to the airport, and that was about $13.50. So total on our transportation cost, just for these three things really, because the rest of the time we walked everywhere, was $97. So not bad.
No, not bad for the month. So the next item on the list is groceries. Yeah, we did grocery shop and we did do some cooking at home while we were in Hanoi. We kind of cycled between 3 different grocery stores depending on convenience and what we needed and what they had. Fuji Mart was probably our largest grocery store that was near us out of convenience, and they had a great selection. Next place that we would go was called BRG Mart, and they had many locations, and it was just really conveniently located for us.
BRG Mart was more of your, at least the ones that we had near us, were like your smaller convenience store type of store. So we didn't do the bulk of our grocery shopping there, but it was useful.
Yeah, and the same goes for Win Mart. We had a Win Mart right around the corner. So if we needed a jug of water, we would just go to the Win Mart and get that. It was ultra convenient. And then we had a little bit more of a luxurious place, maybe a 10 or 15 minute walk away, called L's Place. They had some more like
the imported stuff.
Yeah, a lot of imported goods, and we found some Western stuff there too. So for cooking at home, if we needed some specific ingredients that we were looking for, if we wanted a taste of home, that's where we would go.
Yeah. Most of our shopping though was done at Fuji Mart. If you are at all curious as to what that looks like, grocery shopping in this store in Hanoi, Vietnam, we do have a grocery shopping video because we always find that so interesting. So feel free to check that out as well. But what we spent for groceries total for the month of March was $261. That's not bad for a whole month. And there's tons of food, of course, that you can eat out, but we did a good amount of cooking at home.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The food in Vietnam, it is just amazing. Everyone, of course, that comes and visits this beautiful country you'll have to talk about the food. The food is so delicious, and we did go out to eat quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's so affordable, delicious meals, all kinds of different dishes that are specific to the country and to this area. And we were in Hanoi, so we had a lot of the northern dishes. You go to a different area, probably the south or in other areas, and the dishes will probably look a little different. But the food here is really, really delicious. They know what they're doing, and we ate till our hearts were content with all kinds of dishes.
And so we only had a month, so we had to like really make up on time and just get out there and dig in and try as many foods as we could. So we actually did a video on this as well. Feel free to go and check out that video on eating out in Hanoi.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about staying a long time in a place, although this was one of our shortest stays, we typically like to stay longer in places. But one of the cool things about staying a long time is that you find your local favorites, and then you're able to go back to them. You know, when you were just traveling through more quickly, you visit maybe a place once, you know. With us, we were able to visit some of our favorite places 2-3 times sometimes.
There was a banh mi place there that they actually started to recognize us, and that was pretty cool. It's nice, but we can dig in and live more like a local, kind of live there, you know.
Extremely affordable to eat out in Hanoi and Vietnam in general. We only spent $197.
Yeah, and for as much as we ate out, I mean, it should have been double or triple that in many other cities. So that's very reasonable. Yeah. It's no secret that we love coffee. If you've seen any of our other videos, I mean, we have a separate cafe budget because we drink a lot of coffee. And Vietnam is a really special place when it comes to coffee. You know, coffee's grown in the region, and you know, you can't miss out on trying egg coffee, coconut coffee. We didn't know about this one, but salted cream coffee. All of the different coffees there are just amazing, and we really thoroughly enjoyed the coffee. You know, we found another place called 80 Plus Roastery, and they had some excellent coffee as well. So we really, really enjoyed the coffee there. And for the month, we spent $79.
And this is going out for coffee like a lot, like
pretty much
every day.
Pretty much every day.
So incredible value and delicious coffee. Next item on our list is entertainment. Now, this is where we splurged. We took a Halong Bay cruise, and that was a 2-night, 3-day cruise along Halong Bay. We paid through a cruise company, and we made a video on this if you want all the details about it. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. It's just a gorgeous area, and we really, really loved it. But we splurged here. So our Halong Bay cruise was about $781. Now that's not including the transportation that we paid extra for. That's on the transportation cost. You saw that was an additional $80 there for that. So this is where we splurged.
We did. It was her birthday though. So we went on this cruise over her birthday, and you know, we could have spent less. There was an option to do one night as well. But with all of the activities that were included in the 2-night, 3-day, and being that it was her birthday, it was a really nice splurge, and it was beautiful. We did, you know, the kayaking and biking and the cave, and it was really special.
It was very memorable. It was very special. So we do not mind the splurge at all.
No.
Now, for some of the sites that you get to see in Hanoi, I mean, it's incredibly inexpensive to go and visit some of these areas. So we toured Hoa Lo Prison. Really interesting place to go to and get a little bit of that history in Vietnam. We went to a water puppet theater show, which we absolutely loved. It just felt so cultural. It was just so, you know, them showing their culture and different things with those awesome puppets.
Yeah, the music in that puppet theater, the music was
live
amazing.
Music.
Yes, it was
beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah.
So absolutely like a must-do, I feel.
Yeah.
We also went to the National Fine Arts Museum and the Temple of Literature, which is just this beautiful grounds with all kinds of like different buildings, and it was just really, really beautiful to be there.
It was.
And all of these things we did for both of us, $24. So it's incredible to go and visit these areas.
Yeah, super cool. Obviously there was more that we could have done. Everything seemed to be very reasonably priced like this, so
Yeah.
you'll never run out of things to do, and it won't break the bank.
Yeah. So total for our entertainment here was $805. Of course, the bulk of that went to Halong Bay.
Yep.
But we are completely fine here. We loved all of these places that we visited.
Next item on the list is personal care. These are things like shampoo, lotion, conditioner. They just don't fall into the typical groceries budget.
Yeah.
So just simple things like that. In total for personal care, $25 for the month.
Not bad at all.
No.
And you guys know we always try to get a gym membership when we are traveling to these different places. We stay long enough that we typically get a membership. However, this was our shortest stay. So for us, for a month might be a long stay for other people, but for us, this was a very short stay.
Yeah.
So we wanted to really maximize our time that we can spend exploring different places in Hanoi. Plus we had our Halong Bay cruise that we were gonna be out for a couple of nights. So we did not really get a membership here, but we did find a gym, and it had what we needed. It was not a fancy gym, but it had the weights, it had the, everything that we needed. And this gym was only 50,000 Vietnamese dong per person per visit. So that's like $2. But because, we wanted to spend more time exploring the city and doing our, different tourist things and all of that.
And Halong Bay, we couldn't justify the price of a full month membership. And, So
we just went once a week. And we did our workouts and left the rest of the time free for us to explore. So our gym here was only $15 for both of us.
Yeah.
So very, very low cost.
That's awesome. And the rest of the time, we walked a lot. So we got our exercise in that way.
Yeah.
The next item on our list is our cell phones. We just got eSIMs. We're finding that roughly about 5 gigabytes tends to work well for us. And so the total price for 2 eSIMs was $9 for the month, $4.50 each.
Very affordable. It's incredible. And we didn't run out of data. We were perfectly fine with that. The next item on our list is our miscellaneous costs. So here's where everything else falls into that doesn't really have a category. We did a little shopping while we were in Hanoi, nothing crazy, replaced a couple shirts and things like that. But the bulk here was our visas. So this is the first time that we have had to apply ahead of time for a visa to enter a country. This whole time we've been able to enter normally with, to all the other countries. But we applied for a visa, and that was $25 per person. So the visa cost was about $50, and the little shopping that we did. So our total here for the miscellaneous cost was $76.
The last item on the list is my tattoo. So I've been getting a tattoo in each country that we visit, and kind of been my souvenir keepsake. So I found a tattoo artist I liked, like normal, and had a great experience as always. And my tattoo was $192, and I got a beautiful tattoo on my leg and a great memory. And I've been having a lot of fun getting these and building a little collection of tattoos.
Yeah, it is incredible because these tattoo artists are they're awesome. They are so creative, and some of these designs that we are finding in these countries are beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're really happy with this. It's been fun. The experience has been great. These tattoo artists are very welcoming and just nice to deal with. So we're really happy with so far the experiences we've had, and this was no different here in Vietnam.
It was a great shop.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to work with, and basically all of my tattoos, everywhere we've gone, I kind of pick a design, but they end up customizing it. It gets customized in some way, shape, or form to fit the spot better, or the thickness of the lines, colors, things end up getting changed. So it's really cool to have these one-off type designs.
What do you guys think of this tattoo? I think it's really beautiful and we're really happy with it, but what do you guys think?
Yeah. Total $192, and for a tattoo of this quality, I think it's very affordable.
Yeah. One of the things to keep in mind when coming to Hanoi is that it is a cash culture. Okay. Everything pretty much that we spent here was with cash. The only places that we were able to use a credit card was our grocery store, When we took the Halong Bay cruise, when we paid our balance at the port, they took a credit card. That's it.
But everything else is cash.
Everything else is cash. Your food, when you're going to the different restaurants, it's going to be cash. What I try to do is I research the top banks, like the top 5 largest banks in a country. And that makes me, feel that these large banks will have the latest security protocols and things like that, and good amount of branches, very well supported. So that's what I did here. However, this was not, it did not work as well here as I've as I've done in other countries.
We went to withdraw money at one of the top banks, and then when we got to the end screen to basically withdraw the money, they let us know what their surcharge was going to be, and it was a few bucks. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but we've been having really good luck being able to find banks with no surcharge. Our bank doesn't charge, and ended up on Reddit, and somebody had mentioned that TP Bank didn't charge any fees. So we searched and found that we had a couple of ATMs nearby for TP Bank. We, of course, at the end, you decline the conversion, but we weren't charged any fees. No surcharge, no fees or anything.
And there are multiple ATM areas and actual banks, which we prefer to go to the actual bank just in case there's an issue. So anyway, TP Bank worked really well, and we didn't have an issue at all withdrawing money. So now for the grand total, a month stay. This was March of 2025 in Hanoi, Vietnam. Now, we did stay 29 days. So that total for that month was $2,767, which is on par for what we've been spending in most places. Now, this could have been, of course,
average.
It could have been a lot less if we hadn't done the luxurious Halong Bay cruise. We could have been under $2,000.
Yeah, we would have been under $2,000 had we not done Halong Bay.
Right.
But that's one of these things that you should really do while you're there.
Most travelers would agree that Vietnam is a very affordable country. However, we love doing this because it gives you an idea of what it's like to stay for a long period of time, right? And we know it's affordable when you go in there for your 2-week stay maybe, or even a few days. But for a 1-month stay, it still continues to be a very affordable place.
We hope you guys enjoyed this budget breakdown for our month in Hanoi. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to our channel for more of our travel adventures.
And slow travel with us. Bye.